Hello everybody, my name is Mark Robertson and welcome to the CAVAD session. I'm the founding dean of the College of Architecture, Visual Arts and Design, which means I got to start this college in 2012, and I love getting to talk about CAVAD. Let me start out with this video. What you saw in that video was a bunch of words, and I hope that you really connected with at least one of them because they represent the 8 majors that we offer in CAVAD. And those 8 diverse majors makes us the only full-spectrum art design school at a Protestant Christian university in the U.S. Did I say the only one? I meant to say the only one because we were really amazed when we realized that that was true. And that we have the largest Protestant architecture program in the U.S. and the second largest photography and graphic design programs at any religious university in the United States. And one of only 4 Protestant illustration programs in the U.S. And all of that means that we are one of the largest Christian design colleges in the U.S., which has to be true because it says it right there on the internet. And while you're on the internet, hopefully you'll get the chance to check out our CAVAD website, cavad.calbaptist.edu, to see what's going on here at CAVAD. You'll find faculty and student work and accreditation info, resources, suggested curriculum paths, all kind of useful info. And while you're on the website, you might notice that it says on there, "Are you ready to see differently?" What do we mean by that? How does CAVAD and CBU see the world differently? Well, there's a book that you might be familiar with. It's a bestseller. There's a TV show about it. Maybe you've seen it. It's called the Bible. Have you really thought about what the topic sentence of the Bible is? Well, how did God start? In the beginning, God did something so important that He tells us about it before He tells us about anything else. In the beginning, God created. So here at CBU and at CAVAD, we see what we do differently because we believe it's important. Not just because it's cool or you make a lot of money or people respect what you do, but because God thinks it's important. Important enough to make it the topic sentence of the entire Bible. And that shapes everything that we do. Because of this, we believe that our motivation for doing what we do is different. Our view of success is different. We want to do something that matters, that touches people's lives in a powerful way. And design does that. Even our buddy Kanye thinks so. He's rich, he's famous, he's powerful in the music industry, but he decided to open an architecture arm of Yeezy Fashion because he said architects are people that just want to make the world as dope as possible. And you can quote him on that. Design is very different from other kinds of education that you'll find in college, like accounting, for instance. My sister was an accounting major, and she went to school, and she heard somebody lecture, and she took notes, and she went home and did homework. And then the next day she went back and did the same thing. I was an architecture major in college, and I worked in a studio. And all of our majors work in studio. And what that means is that you are in a studio for class, you're in a studio for homework, you're in a studio for social time. You share the studio with your friends, with your family, and it becomes a family. It's a very collegial and familiar way to study and to be educated. And it's very different than any other way of going through college. We value what you learn in the classroom, but we also value what you can learn outside of the classroom in the world of design that you'll find in Southern California and all around the world. This year alone, we had trips scheduled to Shanghai and Italy and New Zealand. And we value connecting you to your future profession and to the professionals who will be hiring you because we're preparing you to succeed in the industry. And if I've learned anything from Taco Bell, and I like to think that I have, it's that your collegiate career and the rest of your life is going to take passion. And you either do it with passion or you don't do it at all. And it's going to take work. And it's going to take you living out the purpose for which God made you. I want to tell you about a couple of our recent alumni who are doing just that. One of our recent photography alumni, Jacob Gonzalez, was awarded last year's NFL Photograph of the Year. It's pretty amazing, right? And it now hangs in the NFL Hall of Fame. And in fact, he got to stand in front of all the members of the NFL Hall of Fame and make a speech in which he thanked his CBU professors for inspiring him. It was an awesome moment for Jacob and for us. A recent art alumni, Jeff CAVAD, was hired by EA Sports to design the graphics for FIFA 2020, one of the most popular video games in the world.
My graphics, they're in FIFA 20, and I'm stoked.
He's stoked, all right, and so are we. One of our graphic design alumni, Tom Kay, was hired by the FBI, which is pretty cool, right? Did you even know the FBI had graphic designers? Neither did I. And we have alumni and students working at all kinds of places in film, in architecture, in graphic design, in photography and art, doing all kinds of things. So now I'd like to tell you about our specific programs. If you're interested in architecture, our program is very unique. We're fully accredited by the National Architecture Accrediting Board, which is unique because we are a 5-year master's program. In fact, we're the only one like it in the Western United States. And what that means is it gets you through your education faster, resulting in a terminal professional degree. It sets you up for licensure faster than any other architecture program path available. This is 3739 Adams Street, the home of the architecture program. It's been an amazing thing for us to have our own building just for the architecture program. And these are our amazing faculty in architecture who are also not just great teachers, but they're also doing really big, important work in the industry, which is really valuable for you and your future. This is the kind of work our students are doing. Highly creative, hands-on design, which is also winning awards against schools across the country. In fact, this is one of our thesis projects that last year won first place in the California NOMAS competition, the National Organization of Minority Architecture Students. And this thesis project won third place in that same competition. CBU Architecture has now had 2 Master of Architecture graduating classes, with another one coming this spring. And so far, our alumni are 100% employed. Man, I love to say that. And Southern California is just one of the greatest places in the world to study architecture. Some of the greatest work of architecture in the entire United States is right around us here in Southern California. If you're interested in the film program, we have film production, post-production, film analysis in industry, and screenwriting. These are some of our great alumni in the film program. Melissa Croteau, he's a film analysis expert. Michael Eaton, who's a film production expert and a working Hollywood filmmaker. Ralph Winter, who is literally one of the biggest producers in Hollywood, who produced all the X-Men films and Star Trek films and Planet of the Apes and Fantastic Four and all kinds of things, and who comes and teaches whenever his schedule allows him to do it. And we have a lot of industry professionals who do that. They'll come out and teach in our program because they get to be who they really are in our university when they don't get to be that in Hollywood very often. The picture on the left is our film lab, where we have a production studio, green screen area, sound editing facilities, and more. In addition to the studio, we have the historic Hawthorne House on our campus that we use for location shooting. And we teach our students on the latest filmmaking technology available, like the Red camera, because we're preparing our students to be ready to work in the industry immediately. As part of that effort, our film students get to go to the Wind Rider Forum at the Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah. This is the kind of activity that's creating a culture for CBU film that really sets our program apart. In fact, this picture on the upper left is a couple of our students at last year's festival hanging out with Damien Chazelle, who directed La La Land and First Man and Birdman. I didn't get to go, but I get to see the picture, which is still pretty cool. And we do a huge student film festival every year as well, as part of the Riverside International Film Festival. And if you don't get there early, you're not going to get a seat because it's a super popular event. If you're interested in fine arts, I would like to tell you about a couple of our faculty. Duncan Simcoe is a world-renowned painter and artist, and Christy Lapierre, who is also a very renowned sculptor. Duncan teaches 2D design, and Christy teaches 3D design for our program. And they're not only great artists, but also great teachers. The art program has an on-campus gallery in the Rose Chapel Gallery. We have a couple of painting studios, a 3D art studio, printmaking studio, and a ceramic studio. The art program really sets the bar for community involvement, doing projects for museums and schools and churches, the city of Riverside, all kinds of places. If you're interested in graphic design and visual experience, you cannot do better than the program at CBU. Our graphic design faculty are as good as you'll find at any school in America, and I really mean that sincerely. For example, Dirk Dallas, the program director, has been voted one of the top 50 iPhone photographers in the world. He helms the biggest drone photography program around, and he does work for all kinds of huge clients. He has a top-selling calendar on Amazon, and on and on and on. And B.C. Bierman did the biggest augmented reality installation in the world. Once again, it says it on the internet, so you know it's true. And he was recently a keynote speaker at a conference in Moscow that was attended by Vladimir Putin, who may have ridden in on a horse. Not sure about that last part, but our graphic design students are doing amazing award-winning work while they're in school as well. In fact, our students have had unprecedented, and I really mean that, unprecedented success at the National Addy Awards year after year. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, our students took home 4 golds and Best of Show to dominate the Addies once again. And always interesting to parents, our students are being snapped up by the industry at an amazingly high rate once they graduate. If you're interested in photography, you will find an amazing program here at CBU. One of our photography faculty, Trevor Haney, shoots for Gwyneth Paltrow and her brand Goop, in Vogue, and Starter Brands, and various other A-list celebrity things. While Professor Kern shoots for various top 100 companies and creative clients all over the world. These are people who are not just shooting weddings for their friends on the weekends. These are people who are doing big, amazing, important work in their industry. And our students are doing amazing work as well, and winning awards, and getting prepared to, you guessed it, work in and succeed in the photography industry. This is our goal for all of our programs. And our graphic design and photography students do powerful work in serving our community through efforts like Vessel, their guest speaker program, their beach and desert trips. Graphic design and photography have a great vibe, and the students are having an amazing time. Illustration is one of our newer programs, but it's growing fast because of our amazingly talented and well-connected faculty. This group is having a great time preparing for one of the hottest markets in Southern California. And it doesn't hurt that our students are crazy talented as well. We also launched interior design a couple of years ago, and it's growing like crazy because we're very excited about the opportunities that this major is offering our students to explore building design from a different perspective and to fill in another need in the booming construction industry. And art therapy studies is another major that we started because we couldn't think of anything better that fit who we are as a university and also offered our students a way to do what they love while touching people's lives in a powerful way. And if you haven't been to one, and if you still qualify, you should come to one of our summer academies to check out a potential major, to meet our faculty, to use our equipment and see our facilities, and see if that thing that you've been dreaming about is really for you, because it just might be. And all of this happens in an unmatched student life and community life right here in Southern California, the absolute epicenter of art and design in the world. So call us, email us, look us up online, come visit us, and we'll help you find the purpose that you were made for. Thanks for listening.